choosing a veterinarian is a very important decision for you as a pet parent. There are a lot of veterinarians out there to choose from, and it's your prerogative to search for one that will give your dog the best care possible. And you will find there's a lot of different types of veterinarians out there. So this page will give you some idea of the things to look for, but I will tell you one thing: veterinarians are going to offer you every service they think your dog might possibly need because they're worried about lawsuits. I had a veterinarian tell me this himself. He said, we're so afraid if we don't offer something and something goes wrong, people will come back and sue us for not providing the kind of care that their dog needed. So what you have to do when a veterinarian comes in with this huge list of things they want to do is ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this what I want for my dog? And sometimes what I do is just look at my vet and say, if this were your dog, what would you do first? Or I'll ask them something like, what could we try before we do $3,000 worth of testing? What could we try to see if it would work for them? Because I've found, one time we woke up and one of our dogs was totally paralyzed. It was so frightening. And of course, they wanted to do all this neurological testing and stuff. And I said, is there something she could take? Like, what if this is a scorpion bite? Or what if this is just something temporary? What would you do for that? And they said, well, some steroids and maybe a muscle relax or whatever it was, I said, let's try that first. Would you believe within 3 days that dog was running the yard again? So see, I didn't need to do $3,000 worth of testing. I just needed to get a good clinical diagnosis and implement it. So just keep that in mind, that you're the only advocate that your puppy has, and so they depend on you to advocate for them. Another thing is to remember when you're visiting the veterinarian is they have very little knowledge of canine nutrition. I have studied canine nutrition. I have read research papers on it. I have studied into the whole DCM issue that some veterinarians are talking about now and trying to scare people about grain-free food when there is absolutely no clinical evidence that grain-free food is linked to DCM. None. Even Mars has been doing their own independent research and they cannot find a link. So just know that your Coton is not at a high risk for DCM, which is a heart disease, and feel free to feed the food that we recommend. So when you go in, they have been schooled by the big four, like Mars and Purina and Royal Canin's Hill Science Diet. So, of course, those are the foods that they're offering in their office, and those are the foods that they're going to try to switch you to. So you just need to very politely say to them, no thank you, I think I'm going to stick with what my breeder recommends. Because truly, if you take the time to read the ingredients, you'll know that you're making the best choice by doing that. I actually had one of my puppy buyers call me not too long ago, and she said, Cathy, I went to the vet for his first well check, and the veterinarian told me I needed to get him off of Pottery and put him on Royal Canin. And I said, really? So can you do me a favor and go get the bag and read me the ingredients on the back? So she did that. She got about 4 ingredients in, and she said, oh my God, Cathy, this is horrible. I'm like, I know. So guess what? She's back to feeding Pottery. So you can do some research if you want, but trust me, I've done the research, and this is the food that we have settled on and have had very good success for 4 years with. We have very healthy puppies, very healthy mommies and daddies. So just stick up for yourself. If you have any questions, always feel free to call me. I've had pet parents text me from the vet's office and say, this is what they're telling me. What do you think? So I'm always available for that if you want. But find a good veterinarian that's compassionate, that isn't going to try and gouge you, and will give you the freedom to do what you think is best for your puppy as well. All right?